Hey everybody, I'm Liz Ferry,
I'm Joey.
and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for this channel. We're going to be showing you guys a bunch of stuff that we thrifted. So it's a thrift haul video. This is not something that we've done on the channel before, but we've talked about doing it on the channel before, so we're finally actually going to do it. This thrift haul isn't going to be just like, I guess like a regular thrift haul necessarily, because this is all stuff that I want to alter in some way or turn into something else, basically. So this is kind of like a thrift flip or pre-thrift flip thrift haul, basically. I have a bunch of other stuff that I am going to keep as is, and I'm going to show you guys that stuff on a later video. But for this one, this is all stuff that, like, I picked it up because I liked the pattern of the fabric, or I liked certain things about the piece, but it's like too big or something like that. Basically all stuff like that, or things that like are perfectly fine except for something like the zipper is weird or something like that. I just wanted to point out that there's going to be a lack of continuity in this video with regards to the color of my hair, because I'm in between coloring it at the moment.
Yeah, in case you've noticed.
So right now it's like bleached and awkwardly yellow, and maybe potentially later in the video it might turn purple. Not sure on that yet. That kind of depends on whether or not I get that package tomorrow, which is still iffy, and I'm very sad about it because I don't want to be like this anymore. But anyway, I digress. And then when I was trying on some of the stuff earlier, I had not bleached my hair yet, so there's
a plethora of hair colors.
Yeah, there might be like all the phases of this hair experiment in this video. So.
Hope you enjoy.
So the first one is this dress, which is really funny because it actually fits me almost perfectly, but I just don't like it. I like the print a lot. The print is really pretty, but the cut of it and the style, it's just, I don't like it.
The style of
And maybe some people would like it, I guess, but it has like a weird lacy collar, which it's cute, but I just don't think it really...
It's a bit not exactly your...
You know, now that I'm looking at it, though, I'm like, ugh, I'm getting all these second thoughts about it. But not necessarily, like, that I think it looks bad. It's mostly these that are the culprit. Yeah, man. Which, these are the biggest shoulder pads I've ever seen. They're so big. They're, like, literally, like, double the thickness of every other shoulder pad I've ever seen. I think this is probably an 80s garment, which, you know, that's probably why. But I think the print is really, really pretty. And the lacy collar is cute, too. I don't like the buttons at all. I don't really like this style of button. And the puffed sleeves are a bit much, but those shoulder pads are ridiculous. And because the shoulder pads are so ridiculous, if I just took them out, it would just be way too big.
There's just so much fabric.
Yeah, exactly. So I would need to figure out some way. I would need to figure out some way of taking in the shoulders, but I'm not really sure how to do that exactly. So this is another one that almost fits me. Well, I mean, it fits me, but it's, and I really, really like the print, but it's like a turtleneck, and I don't really usually like turtlenecks.
Right. This is the whole choking feeling.
This one is a really, really narrow one, too. Sometimes I've had some where they're a little wider and less constrictive, but this one is, like, really, really narrow. But the rest of the shirt fits me really well, but the turtleneck I'm not really crazy about. So this one I might just cut out the neckline and just change it to a different neckline, essentially, and then, like, I guess figure out a way to bind it off so that it actually looks finished. Or I could do that thing that I do where I, like, crochet some edges onto it, which might be cool because just using, like, a solid color on this might be nice just because of how busy the print is. I've been looking for a good black and white striped shirt for a while, and I thought I found one. Although this is a dress, which is interesting. And it's like, it's stretchy, but I guess it wasn't stretchy enough. I thought it would be stretchier than this, but it wasn't stretchy enough. And it more or less fits me, but again, my sleeves problem that you may have heard me complain about before. I can never fit into sleeves, even if I fit into the rest of the garment. I never fit into sleeves. So... just because I was kind of relying on the stretch of this garment, the sleeves were not stretchy enough. Yeah. Which is a shame because, you know, it looks really nice, it's cool. Yeah. But there's probably something I could do with this. I just don't really have a plan for what I can do with this because I kind of wanted it to fit the way that it is. But it did not, so now I'm just not really sure what to use it for.
Yeah. So if you guys have suggestions,
This is another one that has a cute print. This one I think is like...
It's like a button-up shirt.
It's a bolero? Is that what they call these?
It's another one with pads.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. The only real problem with this is, aside from the shoulder pads, is that it has just one button, and it's that same pearl and gold button situation that the other dress had.
Right.
So, this one I actually like a lot. Like, I really love the print and the fabric and everything, and it, like, fits me well enough. And I really like the cut of it. I think it would be cool to try to, like, maybe try to take a pattern from this piece and try to make it with a different fabric. Just because I really like the cut of this little...
It's like a little cropped blazer, kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is a dress that we got at an estate sale. I don't remember how much they were. I think there was something like $1 for each piece of clothing.
Right.
So it wasn't that much. But this is a long kind of gauzy dress.
It's like a full... Isn't like this one a full-length button-up dress?
Yeah, it's a full-length button-up dress.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. It's just a tiny, tiny bit too big for me.
Yeah.
That's the only problem, really. But I feel like there's enough fabric here, and with the lightness of the weight of the fabric, I could probably do a lot with, like, that could easily, like, take it in while, like, keeping most of the dress just intact.
Yeah.
And still, like, having, like, that really nice floaty aspect to the fabric and not making it too heavy. There's probably a lot that I could do with something like this because there's so much fabric. But I do like the dress a lot, so I would kind of like to keep most of the elements intact. It's just too big. So I could take off some of the material at the bodice, but I almost wonder if maybe I should try like gathering it or shearing it or something like that instead. So I really love this print. It's just so interesting to me because it's like a pink with a brown background, which isn't something you see a lot. And this dress is the other one that's in pretty much the exact same style as that one that I just showed you guys, except this one has a different print, essentially. And this one does actually fit me a tiny bit better, but still there's like, it's just there's too much looseness in the fit.
Yeah.
But this one is really, really pretty. It's a really nice, like, gauzy. This one's even more gauzy than the last one,
sheer.
actually. It's a lot more sheer. It actually just is straight up just is sheer. Like, I would need to wear a slip under this, probably. It's like a really, really beautiful black background, purple and ivy color. Like, I love how, like, frosty the green looks and how dark the purples get. And then the black background. I love dark background floral prints.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're a little harder to come by than something like a cream background or something like that. This one is really, really trippy. Because, like, I love the print of it. And just the overall style. Like, it has those giant shoulders too.
Yeah.
But it's not as outrageous as the other one because, see, it's just interfacing or something, I think, that they used for the shoulder
so it's
pads.
not even like a
So
full
it's not like a big
like
fluffy pad. So this one almost has like a pleasant retro 90s like aesthetic shoulder pad rather than like,
right, it's like a tiny
rather than it being like outrageously something that you
instead
don't
of like a
want.
football guard.
Yeah, exactly. But the print on this is obviously like beautiful and very like, again, like 80s 90s looking.
Yeah, definitely.
And that was what first drew me to the piece. But like, for some reason, I don't know why I didn't notice this, but when we bought it, I thought that it had an elasticated waist, and it did not have that. So it was a little small. Like, I can get into it, but I can't get the zipper up, essentially. So what I'm thinking is that I might just end up removing the zipper, because I don't think it goes all the way down. Like, it doesn't cross the waistband. So I could just take the zipper off entirely and just make it an open back dress, essentially, is what I was thinking about doing. Especially with it having, like, those 90s shoulders and stuff. So essentially it would be taking the zipper off and then kind of finding a way to, like, clean up this weird corner at the top of the zipper to make it look more like a backless dress. Also, there's certain backless dresses that I've seen where they'll put, like, a strap across the top to, like, kind of, like, hold the two pieces together. For some reason, I thought that it had an elasticated waist.
Oh, right.
But it does not have an elasticated waist, so it didn't fit me. But what it does have, in place of this elasticated waist, is it has pleating. Which I'm not a crazy fan of pleating. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to just separate the bodice and the waistband from each other and get rid of all those pleats. And then I'll have like quite a lot of excess fabric at that point at the skirt, and then I can use that to elasticate the waist and make it more able to fit. So this is we found this at a rummage sale, so it was practically free because it was like one of those like stuff in a bag for $5.
Yeah.
So kind of with the amount of stuff that we got, it was like the price was negligible.
Hardly anything.
Yeah. So you can kind of see it. It's definitely like a retro shirt because like you can tell with how washed out the colors are, but it's got this really cool
and it
like
is kind of just in a pastel like
it is a pastel
palette.
color palette, but I'm
So
pretty
it
sure
is-
it used to be more vibrant probably, but is now much more faded. But the shirt is just like a basic like polo shirt with like 3 buttons down the front, so it's kind of like a boring shirt with a great print. So I feel like I can do something to make this shirt more interesting. First of all, maybe lose the buttons. Like these buttons are a little weird. They're like little swirly whirlies. I don't really know.
They're just a little like, or they don't go with. It'd be better just to get like little like fruit buttons.
Yeah, that
like,
would be
get
great.
some like water, like
Yeah. This one I was so tempted to just leave.
Another in the pastel color palette.
Yeah, this one I was so tempted to just keep it the way that it is, but I kind of got it because I had this idea of making it into a really cool dress, because it's this really nice like pastel like pastel
gingham.
rainbow gingham. Yeah, and it's like a really lightweight 100% cotton, but it's actually a bathrobe. Like, it's just a real big bathrobe, and it fits me pretty nice. It's a whole thing where, like, a lot of the work is kind of already done for me, and I might not have to, like, work as hard if I just adapt this piece into something.
And it's zippered, too.
Oh, yeah, this one is really trippy.
So is the other 80s inspired.
I think this might be an actual retro dress. It seems,
or an actual 80s dress.
like it might be
not inspired.
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Early 90s maybe.
It's hard to tell. It might be 90s actually. I think it looks a bit 90s, and also the elastic feels like pretty old.
Yeah.
But this one is another one that I thought would be stretchier than it turned out to be. It almost fits me. It's like so close, but it's got all these really cool like stripy cutout things.
Yeah, it's a real cool asymmetrical pattern.
Yeah. So because it has this paneling, I almost thought, what if I unpicked this seam and just added another strip to this seam of like an inch or two, and the same thing down here of an inch or two of just a random like matching color or something, and then that would like give it a little bit of extra ease so that it could maybe fit.
That would be terrific.
Especially because it's just like it kind of would go with the asymmetrical paneling, right?
Yeah.
This was an amazing find because this and it's so funny because I just vaguely thought like, oh, that would be a nice thing to get if I ever see that at the thrift store. That'd be cool.
Right.
And then we went to the thrift store like a couple days after I thought that, and there it was. So it's a full-length 100% silk slip dress. I'm not sure what year it's from, but I know that these dresses are pretty hard to come by. The only problem with it is that the adjustable strap part on one side is just broken, and the reason for that is that for some inexplicable reason they're made of plastic.
Yeah, these little.
Yeah, I don't really get why that.
Jump rings made of plastic.
Yeah, it just has little rings, like little plastic rings that it's using to make it like have the adjustable straps. It's missing one on one side because I assume it probably just broke because it's plastic.
This thing is cool. I would wear this.
See, this is a cool print and everything. It's cool, but it doesn't really fit me. Maybe it would fit you, I wonder. But because it might not be a women's size thing, maybe potentially. I think it was put with the women's clothing, but I don't think it is because it has that gaping at the armpit thing where there's just a big bunch of fabric, and I think that might be because my bust size is just really big.
Right, that's right.
So like as much as I wish that this worked and would fit me,
it wants you to have a flatter chest.
It wants me to have a flatter chest. So I don't really know how to fix that, or if there is a way to fix that exactly. Well, I don't know.
But it makes me think of like a magician's vest or something. Like
It makes me think of weird peacock stuff or something. I don't know.
exactly magicians.
Okay. But yeah, it's an interesting print, and I liked it, but it just didn't really fit me, so it's a shame. I'm not really sure what to do with it. You should try it on, and we'll see.
I know, right?
Oh.
Best for last.
This is a really, really cool piece, and as much as I wish that it fit me and I could show it to you guys with me wearing it,
we had
I will not
such
do
high
that
hopes.
because it doesn't fit me. It looked like it would, but it's the waist is just way too small and the butt is way too small.
So what this is a freaking, it's a leather, it's a grape dyed leather skirt. So it's just actual genuine leather that
it looks
has
a lot
been...
purpler on the camera than it is in real life. It's more of a grapey purple than it is that deep kind of purple that's showing up on the camera. But yeah, it's like a genuine leather grape purple dyed skirt. There's a couple of things that I could do with this, and I have an idea of what I maybe would want to do. But one way to make a skirt have a bigger waistband would be to like cut off the top of it so that it's like slightly wider. So that's something that
wider and then a little shorter.
Yeah, which this is a pretty long skirt, so that's something that could work. But I'm not convinced that that would give me enough
room
to still get it in. I feel like I'm still too big for it if I did that. What I was also thinking was of just completely changing it into something else, which I thought of maybe using this piece and also maybe a couple of other of the pieces to kind of turn it into like a sort of corset belt sort of thing, like an underbust like belt thing that has like just a lace up back or something like that. So that was the last piece that we had to show you guys this time. I hope that you guys enjoyed this new format that we are trying out. Let us know what you think I should do with some of these pieces in the comments. What pieces you maybe don't think I should do anything to because you like them too much. I'm gonna do it anyway probably, but you can like...
But your input is appreciated.
You can yell at me if you like. But this leather piece, I'm so torn about wanting to do something with it because I like it a lot, but also with just how pretty it already is. Like, I just wish that I could just not do anything to it too at the same time. So I'm not sure what to. I'm at a loss. So let us know what you guys think of this new format, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.